Hi, I'm Kayanne, and I'm here with my Hobonichi Cousin Avec, and I have returned from a trip and got behind on my daily pages during the trip, but so it's sort of like a travel journal that I'm doing today. I did the few days at the end of July that included the trip, but now I'm ready to move on to August. And I've printed out my photos and have all the little bits that I've saved here from the trip as well. And I have them all set aside and ready to use. I have the bigger bag to the left has like some bigger magazines and about the area and things like that I might want to pull things from. So now I'm just getting those photos all sorted according to which day they were. And now I'm just getting them laid out and arranged and trying to figure out how. I know they won't all fit, so I'm having to kind of prioritize which things I most want to put in there. Going through my other ephemera I have here, I have some maps and like all the touristy things. So I'm going to go through and glean some things from that as well. As you can see, on the first, it's part way done, and I actually did that on the trip, which I try to get at least part of it done on the trip. But after the first, it kind of didn't happen. So, which is okay. I made notes and I saved the stuff, so it won't be a problem to catch up. I realized I hadn't printed out any pictures of the harbor itself, so I thought I kind of liked this graphic on the front of this little travel brochure thing, and thought I'd fit that in there as a tip-in and cut out some other little bits about this place. Is Grand Marais, near the border of Canada along the north shore of Lake Superior. One of our favorite places. It's just a fun little town and beautiful scenery. Things we don't see in Kansas. Had this little harbor, and I had a lot of fun sitting and doing some watercolor sketch in my sketchbook at this harbor. So that was a fun memory that I kind of want to get down here somehow. Also, some fun little shopping we did, a little bookstore and a fun little art shop, and places we ate, and just the harbor area had some really cool rocks that we kind of climbed around on. So I kind of want to at least make mention of all of those things. So I'm just kind of gathering little bits that would go with that experience in the town. I also had picked up stickers here and there along the trip, so I am, sorting those out, make sure I get those included where they should be. Okay, I finished journaling on this page, and I had one little image that I had in mind I wanted to put down there at the bottom, and I'm not finding it, so I put a little sticky note on there to remind me, because I'm sure I'll come across it. I rely heavily on sticky notes to keep track of myself in my daily journal. Moving on to the next day, and this was one of the biggest days, so it's taking me a bit to figure out how to how and what to fit on here. I'm using a postcard here as a tip-in, gives me a little more real estate to add a couple extra photos on the back, as well as giving me that harbor scene. And so I'm just using Scotch tape, plain old Scotch tape, to tip that in. Had to trim it off just a smidge, but not much. So by getting some of the photos onto my tip ends, I have room for some other little fun things like this sticker that I got. And also I still want to do some writing, and that little watercolor set is by Pocket Journal Pam, and I thought about putting it there to represent my watercolor sketching idea, but then I decided to just draw my sketchbook with the little scene painted in type version would be better. I'm putting some of those excess photos while looking to see if I want to use them in my 5-year journal. They're printed on transparent sticker paper, so they're actually kind of thinner than like most stickers are. So I don't mind sticking them here and there into my 5-year journal. And then I'm also using some of the leftovers in my weekly pages in my Cousin Avec. At least while I'm using the weeks to do my planning in, that leaves these pages available, And so I'm also experimenting with those, like just like this week is perfect to do like the travel journaling. So I'm just maybe adding some images in there. Dates on these pages are by Courtney Diaz, and the little days of the week speech bubbles are by Erin Ware. I have more photos, but I want to leave some room for writing here, so they'll have to go on another page. I avoid doing tip ends or anything very bulky in my 5-year journal, but I made an exception on this day and put a photo of the Gooseberry Falls. It was a wide photo, so I had to fold it in the center and add a little map chunk there, and I may still add something onto that. I could put a picture of my husband or something, I'm not sure. But so I made a little tip in. That's the first time I've done one in my 5-year journal. I will be careful not to do too many, but it's fun once in a while. Moving on, I had this map of the campground I decided I wanted to include, especially since it would give me a place to include this. I had printed out this really gorgeous photo of the dock, which was I printed out kind of large, so it'll give me a place to put that. Here you see I have some ephemera that I've gathered that I'm sticking in, like from this veggie straw package. And I have a Planet Fitness sticker, which is where we shower when we travel. So I actually went there each of these mornings, so I decided it was appropriate for it to cross the page. I did cut it down the center so it wouldn't be so bulky in the binding. I have, we went to a movie, so I have movie tickets, and that was kind of a pretty rare event, so that was something definite to take note of. I bought a print and have the little business card of an artist that I bought it from. The L&B was a grocery store that we went to that was right near the art show, so we went to it quite a bit. So I have that's cut from a paper bag. Doing a little sketch there. Lots of, not many photos on this, but lots of other little odds and ends. I decided to add a little color on the page with my watercolors, so I pull that out, and I like to do that before I do my writing, just so I don't accidentally smear my writing. So I'm painting in this little character that I guess is supposed to be me, holding a thing of popcorn. We not only went to a movie, but we got the popcorn to eat while we watched the movie because we hadn't had time for supper. On the left side, I'm painting in a little illustration of our car, which we had a little trouble with on that day. It all turned out okay, but car repairs seem to be the theme of our trips. I like to save any wrappers or deli paper or anything like that from places that we eat, so I can include that in there. And I did that this time with the Perkins and the Northern Tap House restaurants that we ate at for breakfast and supper this day. I used Courtney Diaz's number and day of the week with the little watercolor palette for this day, and add in some more ephemera. Okay, that finishes it up for this time. Completed the trip and got us back home again. So let's just take another look at the pages, starting with August 1st. And I have gotten in everything that I really most wanted to tell the story. I have a little place that needs stuck down better right there, so getting that taken care of. I've done more tip ends than usual just to give myself a little more space. Since I opted to not do a separate travel journal, I'm squeezing a little more in than I otherwise would into these daily pages. So I have to make the most of the space, but I feel like I did a pretty good job getting in the most important photos and still having room to, write about the day. Just kind of checking all my tip ends to make sure I got them structurally sound, and this one needs a little added tape on it to make it a little stronger, but it's looking pretty good. I do love all the little bits and pieces. They just make the pages fun, and I feel like these will be fun to look back on again someday. So thanks for joining me as I worked on these pages, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you're having fun in your journal or whatever you're choosing to do as well. So that wraps it up for this time, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.